Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Today I am going to do a tutorial on this look that I posted on Instagram last week using the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. Oh, how I love it so. Like, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you're probably like, bitch, please put down the Modern Renaissance palette. Like, for real, we are so sick of it. No, I'm not. Oh, I just knocked something over. I'm not gonna put it down because I love it. I love it so much. So today, for this look, I did a little bit of like a smoky under eye kind of a thing, a little spotlight effect on the lid, and I paired it with this very pinky color. So before we waste a bunch of time, let's just jump right into it because we're busy people and we've got other things to do, you know? Zoom in, get started on this damn face, and like, come on, cut the crap, Quinn, let's go. Okay, so to start this look, I already primed my eyes, I did my brows, and I did most of my skin. I left my under eye area bare because the first time I did this look, I did wind up getting quite a bit of fallout, so it's best to just leave this naked so we can wipe it off, you know what I mean? To start off this look, I'm going to place a transition color in my crease. It's a Sigma E40 blending brush. It's just something big and fluffy. I am going to grab a little bit of the color Golden Ochre and mix it with a little bit of the color Burnt Orange. I'm going to tilt my head back a little bit, and then I'm going to place the fluffy brush right into the crease area and start to lay down just a smidge. Actually, that's more than a smidge. Just going to lay that color down in the crease area and blow it out quite a bit. Basically, that's just going to give us a nice soft edge for the rest of the darker shades to blend into, and it will also give us a little bit of a more orangey yellow toned warmth so the look doesn't get overwhelmingly pink. Now to add a little bit of depth to the crease, I'm going to go in with a slightly smaller blending brush. Strangely enough, this is also a Sigma E40 blending brush, but it's a new one that I got, and it's an entirely different shape than my old one, so I don't know if they changed it or if my old one is just like really because it's old, I don't know. But it's smaller and we're using it for a smaller area. I'm going to dip that brush into Burnt Orange and a little bit of Realgar. That's how you say it, I'm pretty sure, I think, I don't know. Brush in where I want it. Start blending that into the crease area, but this time I'm keeping it a little bit more concentrated into the actual crease, and I'm not going to bring it all the way into the center. I am going to stop about halfway. Next, I want to deepen up that crease again, but only on the outer corner, and I want to start creating a C shape around the corner of the eye. My E30 pencil brush, it's a little bit dirty, but that's the same color that I'm going to use, so it don't matter. I'm choosing this brush specifically because it is a pencil brush, so it will place the product pretty precisely, but it's also a soft pencil brush, so it will make it easier to blend out the colors that I place down, so it's not a hard line. I'm going to dip that into the color Red Ochre, and I'm going to mix that in with a tiny bit of Realgar because I just don't want it to be super dark. And then I'm going to place that in the very outer 1/3 of the crease and start bringing that down near my lash line in a C shape. And if you start seeing like a harsh line as you're doing it along the edge here, no biggie. You're going to go back in and blend that whole edge after you work on the bottom lash line anyway. So for now, it's just fine. Now I'm going to use this Makeup Geek pencil brush. It's a little bit more densely packed and it's shorter, which will pack on product more precisely and blend it less as you apply. So this is better for getting like a more, almost like drawing a line with a soft pencil. That's the effect that this kind of a brush will give you, and I'm going to use that to place a fairly stiff line in the outer C area here. I'm going to do that by mixing a little bit more Red Ochre with a little bit of Cypress Umber. Pop that in there. See how that draws like a literal line? Don't let that scare you though, you can blend it out after. It's all powders, so it doesn't set or anything. So instantly that gives you a ton of depth there. It also gives you a ton of fallout if you're not careful, but that's okay. That's why we didn't put on our concealer yet. I'm just going to pick up the Sigma E30 that I used earlier and start to blend that into the crease. Next, I'm going to use a clean blending brush. This is a Morphe M433, just any old fluffy blending brush. It doesn't have any product on it is what you need. It doesn't really matter what kind you use. It's just very similar to a MAC 217 if you have one of those. I'm just going to use that along the edge because I want to blend these orangey and brown colors into that transition color, but I don't want to add any more product because then it'll start getting muddy and start coming too far up on the lid, and we don't want that. Having a clean blending brush around to work with is a major key. Next, on this extremely stained Real Technique shading brush, I am going to pick up some of the color Venetian Red and a little bit of Love Letter. And so I'm just going to start by packing that onto the outer 1/3 of my lid. I'm going to dip back in, get a little bit more on the brush, and I'm going to pack that on the inner 1/3 of the lid as well. And I'm actually going to bring that up into the crease and connect that with the rest of the crease colors that I laid down earlier. And because we brought that original transition color in all the way to the corner, it makes it a lot easier to blend this. Then I'm going to go over the edges of that with the clean blending brush again. Although for the center portion of the lid, I am going to make a highlight there to kind of like make a beam, you know, a light. You want it to be like bam, in the middle of the lid. So to do that, I am going to lay down a sticky eyeshadow base on the area. I'm going to use the Kat Von D Lock It Primer because it is very sticky, and it's also a pencil, so I can easily just open it up and pop it right where I need it to go on the lid without getting it all the fuck over everything else that I just laid down. For the center, I'm going to grab another of the Real Techniques shader brush. On one side of that brush, I'm going to pack on some of the color Primavera, which is a champagne-y color. But let me tell you, it is so special pretty when you put it on your lid. I specifically like to use this color wet, so I'm going to grab some Fix Plus so that it is a little bit extra metallic and fun on the center of the lid. So obviously for this lid color, you want to blend it into the colors around it, but you only want to blend the very sides of it. Otherwise you're going to lose the contrast between them. So I'm going to grab a very small brush. This is a Real Techniques detail brush. I even use this as a lip brush sometimes. That's how small it is. But I'm going to use that to go along the edges of where I laid that color Primavera down and just gently tap it into the surrounding colors. Okay, so now that I'm pretty much done with the upper lid area, off camera, I applied some concealer under my eyes and I put down some powder. I put a lot of powder, not so much to bake the area, but because I want to be able to wipe away any fallout if I get any. The under eye area, what you want to do to blend this into this is basically repeat the same steps on the lower lash line as you did on the crease. So I'm going to start by taking a pencil brush, the bigger pencil brush again, and mixing golden ochre with burnt orange, and we're going to drag that underneath the lower lash line. And I'm bringing that down fairly far and connecting it literally right into that C shape that we made earlier with the crease. And again, with that smaller Makeup Geek pencil brush, I am going to go in with red ochre. Just going to buff that into the lower lash line, a little bit closer to the eye than with the lighter colors, and bring that out to meet the crease. I want that waterline to be super dark and super smoky looking. So I'm going to grab the Anastasia gel pencil in the color Dark Side. I think it's the only color they have actually. And I am going to use that to line the waterline. I'm going to bring that through the tight line as well. I am going to grab the color Noir. This is actually from a different ABH palette, and Anastasia also has it in a single shadow. It's just like the darkest, blackest black ever. You could use any black that you have that you like that works for you. And I'm packing some of that black onto that Real Techniques detail brush so that I can get it very close to the lower lash line and only smoke out that one spot. You know what I mean? Precision. Laser focus. I am going to place that color down in a dabbing motion, and I'm definitely getting some fallout. That's why we put the powder, because we're smart. Once that black is packed onto the lower lash line, you want to blend it, but I don't want to over blend it because I don't want it to lose its impact. So I'm grabbing that clean blending brush from before and just lightly dragging that along the lower lash line. For a pop of highlight on the inner corner, I'm going to use the same color Primavera again that I used on the center of the lid. This time I'm going to put it on a small detail brush. This is a Real Techniques detail brush, and I am going to wet it again. The reason I'm using the detail brush this time is because I want to place that specifically here to here where the dark starts, and I don't want it to spread onto the rest of the area, so I want it to be as precise as possible. Patting it where I want it to go, and then I'll blend out the edges once that damp shadow is dry. And to blend that color, I'm just going to use a pencil brush again. This is just a clean one. This is a Sony Kashuk pencil brush. I'm going to blend those edges slightly into the surrounding shadows. For the lip, I'm going to go with something a little bit more on the girly side because while I do love these cranberry eyes, they're not very summery, and I have a hard time making things look summery. I always want to go dark. I always want to wear burgundy. So I'm going to pair this with the Jeffree Star Velour Liquid Lipstick in Rose Madder. It's a very, very pretty peachy pink color, and combined with this look, it makes it look very summery in a more darky, smoky, edgy sort of a way, which is perfect and near and dear to my heart. I am going to line the lips. I'm actually going to grab this Bobbi Brown eyeliner brush. It's not for lips, but I'm going to use it for my lips because it's a good shape for that. I'm just going to pack some of the color right off of the applicator onto the brush, and I'm going to line my lips with that first, and then I will fill in the center. Sorry that this part is not entertaining. I can't talk and apply liquid lipstick at the same time, obviously, for obvious reasons. And that's the final look. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I will be back next week with a chatty video, and the week after with another tutorial. That's the schedule we're on right now. Don't forget to follow me on social media as well. I'm all over it. I'm there every day, posting. So Twitter, if you guys want to chat with me or ask me any questions, that's the best place to get at me. Don't forget that I blog several days a week, and that all of the extra details from this video will be listed there as well. I'm going to link that below, MsQuinnFace.com. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe so you can see more. Thank you again for watching. Seriously, it means the world, and I will see you in the next video. All right, bye. Makeup Boy Scouts, drink my coffee.